The number one beginner day trading mistake. I was going to list 5 mistakes, but I think this mistake alone is worth talking about in a video all in itself. We're going to talk about a very, very common problem for beginner day traders. You've probably went through this. If you're getting to a point where you're feeling better about day trading, you've already experienced this. If you're watching this video for the first time, you're learning about day trading, you want to learn more, well, stay tuned. We're going to talk about this very, very common mistake for beginner day traders right here in this video. So make sure you stay tuned.
Yeah.
Nobody is ever thinking to themselves like, hey, I want to be a day trader and I don't want to make any money, right? Like nobody thinks that. Nobody ever thinks that they want to day trade to not make money. There's only one simple idea that comes from day trading or investing or really anything that has to do with money. You're only thinking about how to get more money, how to get rich. And that's the biggest mistake, my friends. The biggest mistake for a new day trader is very simple. The number one mistake is trying to get rich. I've talked about this in so many videos before, but I feel like I just need to talk about it again because I keep seeing the same questions. I keep seeing people just like, hey, I want to get into day trading. Like, what's a good strategy? Like, how do I want to do, I just want to make money. I'm thinking like my favorite question is, how much money can I make with $5,000? If I have a $5,000 account, can I make $100 a day? Can I make $5,000 a day? How rich can I get? And these people that are asking these questions, they're obviously beginner day traders, right? They haven't actually day traded before. They have no idea. They just want to know how much money can they make if they have a certain amount of money in their account. You have to be fucking realistic, guys. You have to understand that this is not just like, okay, I can just put money into an account. I can buy a course. I can follow some guy on YouTube. I can follow some guy on TikTok, and I can get rich trading options because some guy on TikTok makes $1 million every day. People out there that are posting up that they're making $50,000, $60,000 trading options every day, and it's so easy. They're not doing it. I'm telling you right now, they're not actually doing it. The problem is everyone has different kind of emotional control, different types of emotion, different types of personalities. You have some people that are very, just like one level of excitement. They don't really get excited. They don't really get sad. They're just very like, eh. Hey, if you're a new day trader, you want to learn more about futures and all that fun stuff, tune in 9:30 a.m. Eastern right here live on the channel. Hit that subscribe button, the like button, all the buttons down below, and let's keep talking about the marathon. And then you have some people like myself. I'm very emotional in the sense that like I love the highs. I'm like, oh, I like the money. I'm making money. I'm getting excited. I get pumped up. And then I get I go on tilt. I end up losing money, and I'm like, oh, no, I want to make the money back. You have to really kind of do some self-introspection in the sense that you need to figure out like what is a good strategy for your overall mentality. I see some people that are like, hey, I can't buy the breakout. Some people hate buying breakouts because they're like, I only buy the dip. And that's totally fine. But for me, I really hate buying the dip because I just don't like to buy the dip because I think that a dip turns into a continuation lower sometimes. And, obviously breakouts end up failing, but in general, you have to figure out what strategy works best for your personality. I don't care who you are, what you're doing, how you're trading, what you're trading. Your goal is not to make $10,000. Your goal is to not lose $1,000. If you have a $1,000 account, and that's what you have $1,000 in your account. If you have $1,000 in your account, your goal should be, hey, I want to not lose that $1,000, right? Like you're going to obviously have little red days, little, drawdown. But in general, your game plan should be, hey, I don't want to try to lose any money, right? Like if I can start day trading today, I can find a strategy, I'm going to stick to a strategy, and I'm going to focus on only trading the best setups. I'm going to only focus on trading one strategy. I'm going to be very patient, and I'm going to look to grow my account. But this idea that you can just like jump into the market, you can start trading today and just get rich overnight, like it's such a far-fetched idea. It's almost impossible. I wouldn't say it's impossible, but I'd say it's almost impossible. And there's a reason that 90% of day traders end up losing money in the long run, or pretty much a lot of people end up losing money right away because they're just constantly trying to get rich. I mean, I've done it. I'm admitting, right? Like I have that issue. I've had that issue. I still have that issue. And I talk about it all the time, having that like emotion of being like, man, I want to make a certain amount of money. I want to get rich. When you start to put unrealistic targets, profit targets on your ability, you're going to end up burning out. You're going to end up losing money because you're not going to be able to hit those targets. if you're a new day trader right now, you're a new day trader, you're just getting into it, I'm telling you, stay away from this unrealistic fantasy world that you think that you can follow some guy on YouTube, you could pay $5,000 for his course, and you're going to learn to trade just like him. I'm telling you right now, I will say 100%, if you pay $5,000 for a course and you try to replicate what your guru has been trying to teach you, and you're watching these videos, you're watching the courses, you paid all this money for the course, you did the webinars, you've done everything, you did the chat room, you will not be able to do it because you just don't have the experience. You don't see what he sees. It's easy. Like, I can show you a chart. I can be like, look, this is what I think is going to happen. And you're going to look at that chart and you're like, I have no idea why. I don't think that's going to happen, right? Like, you see what I see. We have the same indicators. We have the same chart, the same candlesticks. But we look at the chart differently because I have experience, right? Like, I've been doing this since 2016. Built up this muscle memory to be like, hey, look, like, I know that right now this looks like we want to push back to the VWAP. I see that. Like, I can see that before it happened. I got long on the live stream today, and people were like, oh, that's a short. It's not going to go up. I'm getting short. I saw multiple people talking about getting short when I was getting long. And guess what happened? The market moved in my favor, and it moved up to the VWAP just like I thought it would because I was like, hey, I think there's a really good chance of pushing back up to the VWAP. And we talked about the VWAP in videos before, but I really do think, experience is king. But the problem is you're not going to get experience just paying for a $5,000 course, jumping into a chat room, following alerts, trying to get in and out quickly, trying to make money. You're not going to get that experience. It's a marathon, right? Like, a marathon runner is not going to go and just run 100 miles first day they ever ran in their life. You're not going to do that. If you're training for a marathon, you start slow. You start running a few miles, then you're like, okay, a few more miles. You do other little things. You stretch, you focus, you're eating healthy. You're doing all these things to contribute to you, completing that marathon. You have to understand that day trading is not a sprint. You're not going to be able to open an account and then just start trading and making millions of dollars. You have to look at the bigger picture, the long-term picture. Take it from me. I've been doing this long enough to know that you're not going to get rich overnight. It's just not going to happen. You might get lucky. You might get a few trades, and you're like, oh, I'm a genius. But in the long run, over the next few months, after those good trades, it's going to wear off. That beginner's luck is going to wear off, and you're going to end up losing all that money. And I'm not telling you that you shouldn't, look to learn from other people. You shouldn't watch videos or whatever. But you really have to understand that what somebody else is doing is not going to be exactly how you do it. The overall strategy of buying low, selling high, yeah, that's a very similar strategy for everybody. But if you don't have experience, you don't see what's kind of going on in the market, you can't read the overall price action, it doesn't matter what your strategy is. It doesn't matter that you have a $5,000 course. You think the stock market cares that you paid $5,000 for a course from some guy on the internet? They think that the market's going to be like, hey, well, you paid $5,000, so don't worry, we're going to reward you. No. But if you go and you blow up your account the first week of trading, if you go and you lose all your money the first month of trading, you're never going to get to that point. You're never going to get to the point where you can actually learn. And the best way to learn the market is obviously to participate, to risk money, to lose money. Because you start to learn like, hey, look, I lost money because I did this. I bought at the top. I sold. I got short at the bottom. I did this. I went this. This happened. You're going to start to learn that. And you're going to start to be like, okay, in the future, I'm not going to buy the top anymore. In the future, I'm going to hold on my winners, things like that. You're going to build up these muscle memories when it comes to these trades, these overall setups. And you're going to start to see things differently. But you won't get there unless you focus on the bigger picture. The marathon, my friends, the marathon. Day trading is a marathon. If you guys haven't already hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Do me a favor, go ahead and do it right now. I'll see you tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, live on YouTube. Peace.
Yeah.